It's another Monday, baby. We're doing it live from the studio. Well, it's live now. I didn't mean to say live, but it is. I'm alive. You're alive. I hope you're alive watching these videos. Glad you made it. That's another social production. We are doing it on Monday, March the, let's double check, the 27th of 2023. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me once again. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Instagram. Follow me there if you like. Subscribe on YouTube for the full-length videos. Right there, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. And then if you want to give back to the show, if you like, patreon.com/RobSadri. Doing it slowly but surely, one step at a time. It's cloudy skies here in Toronto. Wherever you're checking out the show from, I hope it's sunny wherever you are. I do also hear a little bit of construction in the background outside. I don't know if that's going to be recorded in the videos, but that's what it is, baby. The noises of the outside world. Sounds like... You guys hear that? Let me know in the comments. Sounds like a saw is going off. It's like maybe welding. I don't know. There's a bunch of people doing construction in and around the neighborhood. That's fine. Some people are working on their homes. Others are, attending to the city streets and whatnot. But regardless, wherever you're checking out the video, I hope your sunny days are bright. I hope there is, plenty of hop in your skip, whether you're in Canada, the United States, Mexico, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, New Zealand, Australia, the islands, everywhere else in between. I hope you're doing well. It's Monday, baby. We're going to have some fun today. Ladies and gents, what do I want to even begin with? Tons of stuff to talk about today, and we'll see how many of them will get covered. Some of them might be, if I'll try to cover as much ground today, and whatever, like, that's what it is. But we got Wednesday, Friday to come in again and see if there's anything that we missed, or there's obviously always additional stuff to think about, talk about, laugh about. And let's start with this. How did my weekend go? I don't know. I don't like to, your boy's like, I don't seek danger. Danger seeks your boy. Let's just put it this way. I don't go out there looking for troubles, but the troubles come close to your boy sometimes. And when I'm called into action, I won't hesitate to, if I need to ruffle a few feathers, if daddy needs to go in there and ruffle a few feathers just to... How did this past weekend go down? How did this all unfold? How did I come into the danger zone, if you will? Danger zone. Doing it, baby. Here's the thing. I don't look for trouble. I'm not the type that'll, I don't even... And we'll get right into it, baby. It's going to be fast. It's going to be quick. There was an instance where I had to use a public bathroom facility here in the city of Toronto, beautiful city of Toronto. Doing it. Local spot that I hit. Sometimes if there's, if there's a McDonald's, you pull up there, use the bathroom, in, out, bing, bang, boom. Tim Hortons, it's a coffee chain, coffee donut chain. They serve chili as well, and sandwiches, and a assortment of soups as well. I'm not sponsored by Tim's or, McDonald's or anything, but I'm just saying, if anybody wants to, put a hot spoon of chili in this guy's mouth, pin me down, put some chili in my mouth, not gonna say no. Point is, fam, that I pulled up to a Tim's to use a public bathroom, and classic, you open a door, you get inside, and I approached the bathroom, but there's already two gentlemen waiting ahead of me. An elderly gentleman, maybe, not elderly, but, an experienced gentleman, let's just say this, a life experience, a fellow full of life experience and a mustache, waiting in front of the door. And then there was a younger fella behind him waiting in line to go inside the bathroom, and I approached them. I'm like, are you fellas, are you guys waiting for the... It's always good to ask. You never know. And they're like, yes, we're also waiting to go and use the bathroom. I'm like, sweet. So I'm just like, in my mind, I've already checked with these two beautiful gentlemen that they're waiting to go in, so I'm assuming that there's somebody else already inside the bathroom, hence the waiting game. So I'm waiting, not a long time, but all of a sudden I see a beautiful fellow with his family. I see him bring his two children, His wife was somewhere behind him, and he walks in right ahead of the elderly or more experienced gentleman, and just, you know, pops open the door and heads inside the bathroom. And then all of a sudden, the elderly, more experienced gentleman, he with one with the mustache, he goes, "Oh, there's a line, sir." And the fella just happened to open the door, and there was nobody in there. So this, we're gonna get into, we're gonna break it down, because I guess this portion of this, I wanna let you guys know. I wanna hear your side. What do you guys think? Who was in the right and who was in the wrong? And we'll get into it. I personally, you know, and we'll get how close I got to the danger zone, baby. Recap. Beautiful young gentleman with his babies trying to go inside, use the bathroom for the bebes. Elderly gentleman, experienced gentleman with life experience, just happens to be standing in front of the door, and fellow with the babies goes inside. Now, again, I arrived seeing these two guys ahead of me in line, thinking they're already fully aware of the bathroom sitch. That's why I asked them, like, are you gentlemen, are you fellas too waiting for the bathroom? So the gentleman with the mustache, let's go, you know, gentleman with the mustache does, you know, the kid's already halfway in the bathroom. This young father is also following his kids into the bathroom. The mustache gentleman is now doing a, you know, doing an old man shimmy, doing that with the belly first. But excuse me, just if I had more room, I'd do this shit. Just, it was a belly shimmy, you know what I mean? When you hop, skip, and your belly goes forward, and you shimmy. Excuse me, belly shimmy. Excuse me. There's a line here. He shimmied with the belly, with the, you know, with the belt, and the kids kind of like popped out of the bathroom. So now he's inside the bathroom, and the gentleman with the kids is like, "Can you believe this guy?" And rightly so. And I don't know who's in the right here. Okay, this is what happens. Mustache gentleman is now in the bathroom using the facilities. The guy behind him, the younger fella, told the guy with the babies, like, you know what, you guys can go in after he's done. You guys can take me. You guys go ahead. Right off the bat, I gotta say, this whole situation would have been avoided if the two fellas waiting for the bathroom would have double checked. You would have, because I checked with these two guys. I thought one of them had knocked on the door. I thought it was just like they were just waiting there. And if nobody walked inside the bath, they would have just been waiting there. There wasn't nobody in the bathroom. But the younger fella tells the guy with the kids, he's like, you know what, once the mustache gentleman comes out, you guys can go and use it, and then I'm waiting behind the younger fella. No big deal. But the guy, the young man with the babies, you could see he was like, you see the Papa Bear come out. That's what it is. People with, I don't have kids of my own, but you hear that term, Mama Bear, Papa Bear. It's that thing where that innate instinct kicks in to protect the young bucks and the young bear cubs, if you will. And he was just like, can you believe this asshole? I got kids, man. The kids were already in the bathroom. He shimmy with the belly, and the kids popped out. And I pointed out to the fellow, I'm like, you know what, dude, I completely understand too, but there is another bathroom for the ladies if the kids are in dire need of, you know, maybe you can ask and use that bathroom instead. So now his wife comes in and escorts the children into the ladies' bathroom. They go do their business. They're about to come out. Mustache fella now comes out, and my young fella with the babies, the Papa Bear, let's call him Mustache fella, Papa Bear, young fella. So three fellas, right? Okay. Mustache fella walks out, and the father is now, the Papa Bear is fuming. He's like, you can see him. It's just like, and he couldn't hold it in. He's like, fuck you, man. As soon as the mustache guy came out, he's like, fuck you, man. And so the kids have already gone into the bathroom. They're now simultaneously coming out as well. Mom's escorting the kids out of the pathway. Younger fella is just, you know, shimmying now into the bathroom, the one that was before the fella with the mustache. And now it's just, so now the young father went like, fuck you, man. One of these like fists, like, fuck you, man. Mustache fella walks and turns around. Now he's got his back to me, and this is close vicinity. This is all within a couple of feet from me, maybe a foot, two feet away from me. Mustache guy now, his back is to me. I'm in sequence, in line sequence, waiting to use the bathroom. Mustache guy is like, what did you say? And the young fellow with the babies, Papa Bear's like, fuck you, man. I was like, fuck you, man. And then Mustache guy's like, come on. He said, come on. In the heat of the moment, this is you know, when your adrenaline is pumping, when the baby bears are out in nature, and you're like, oh, my wife is there, my kids are there, you don't let my kid. And I could see it, that because he thought that he was, you know, he had his right to go and use it, but nobody else was inside. And again, I don't know who's in the right or wrong here, but that's what it is, man. Young fella says, fuck you, man. Mustache fella goes, come on, man. Mustache fella goes, the young fella, Papa Bear, hears come on at but the heat of the moment, the adrenaline, the blood rushing through his brain and just fuming, heard come on. I heard come on. He heard come out. He's like, because he's just ready to go now. Papa Bear's ready to go now. So the mustache fella says, come on. Papa Bear hears come out. He's like, you want to go out? And then it's about to go, but at the same rate, Papa Bear is like ready to, you know, any moment it could have popped off. Mustache guy is also heated up. He's unaware of the fact that I'm maybe now a foot behind him. Just so as mustache fella right here, your boy just patiently waiting in line, and then Papa Bear about to maybe take a swing, maybe, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Did somebody, you know, man, was I don't like to, you know, everything slowed down, ladies and gentlemen, but it was also sped up. And that's when I'm in my comfort zone. When I see two beautiful gentlemen about to go at it, it reminds me of childhood sometimes. And I'm just like, this is some, you know, partial root of my anxiety, but also my low-key weird, somehow my comfort zone. I'm like, did somebody call a buffer? Do I need to intervene here so there's no swinging of the old jab and the hooks and the uppercut? Do I need to? Oh man, I can, you know, flashback good times, but also now I'm like, what if in my mind everything slowed down but also sped up and I see things? I'm like, oh man, what if this young fella just happens to, you know, after the come on, come out situation, what if he goes for a swing? Old fella, loose hip from, you know, the war with the shrapnel incident, buckles down. Now if he buckles down and there's a punch coming in, because I see fumes, I see red in the face. I'm like, am I gonna get accidentally knocked out here? Not on my watch, sir. Not on my watch. So what do? Your boy goes in there, hands up, like this. I'm like, fellas, let's all cool it down. A moment. And as soon as I said cool it down a moment, fellas, everything came to a screeching halt. It was as if a train was traveling thousands of miles an hour real fast. However, you know, a speedy train like the ones they got in Japan and China. Zoom. But I pulled that brake, baby. I pulled the emergency button, a little button right there. I pulled the handle, screeching halt. It stops, and the entire Tim Hortons faculty members, staff, the owner, local patrons, everybody started to clap. Okay, fine. No one clapped. I felt like it deserved a little, you know, now, but I'm like, you know, I said, everybody, let's just cool it down, and they parted ways, and I went and used the bathroom, and I came out, and again, everyone was like, and I'm like, guys, any one of you in my shoes would have, I'd like to think anybody else would have done the same. Now, I don't recommend you putting yourselves in the danger zone and dangerous situations. Okay? But if not me, who? If not when? If not here, where? You know what I'm saying? So like, I just went into like, for a brief second, for a brief moment, I tapped into my TC moment right there. I'm like, we're going clear, baby. Tom Cruise or calm throughs, baby. I'm calm and I'm calming through, baby. I'm calm throughs. Let's just calm down, everybody. Cool it. Very simple. Like, calm down, everybody. Let's cool. And just like that, you know, everybody dodged the bullet that day. It was a good day. It was a good day. And you know, that's what it is, man. Low key, I'm a fan of the UFC. I like seeing when people are like about to like go, and I couldn't tell who would have it. Like, would it be Papa Bear, slim build, slightly taller than myself, probably around 6'2", 6'3", mustache fella, you know, fella with experience, not as ripped or, you know, young, but a mustache goes a long way, you know what I mean? Take that bad boy off, fucking boomerang it right there. Oh my god, what was that mustache? But I would have been like, you know, I was trying to like be like, who will take it? But also at the same rate, I'm like, let me save these fellas from going viral for all the wrong reasons. Oh man, just saying it out loud, I just kind of realized that could have been a viral situation. Come to think of it, I could have used that. Never mind. I totally, retrospectively, I shouldn't have been interviewed. Like, it's, damn it. Maybe there will be a next time. Maybe there won't be a next time. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, that was just a little fun fact from the weekend. Please, when you're out there, remember, calm throughs. Reverse Tom Cruise, but like, also go clear. I think that's, you know, or like fucking in the zone, baby. Try to avoid getting a beat down or giving somebody a beat down if it's. And I get, but who was in the right though? At the end of the day, I'm still like, you know, because technically, Mustache Fella was waiting first in line. But also, I gotta deduct a point as a referee. I'd like to just, excuse me for a second. We're gonna pause the fight for a moment right here. I'm gonna have to bring it, you know what? Let me just see that replay once again in slow-mo. And oh, you were just standing outside of the bathroom door, didn't bother to knock or check, and you just got up there and you just waited at the door. So at this first in line, yes, but with first in line you have responsibility, sir. With great placement in a line comes great responsibility. Knock. Who was a fellow with the babies? Was he in the, should he have had first dibs because he opened the door and walked in? And that's the thing, you had the fellow with the mustache and then the younger fellow behind him. Like, two fellas didn't bother to check and see if the, so I don't know who's on the right here. Was it the young gentleman with the babies? Should he have had first dibs? Or was it the elderly gentleman's right to first piss before the baby? I was, you know what, that's the thing, because like they're both in that category. One's a fellow with experience and you're like, oh, treat people with experience with, like, you know, open a door, be a little bit mindful, but also babies have that kind of, like, babies and people with life experience are, they get it's a privilege thing, right? You see a baby act up, no big deal. You see a experienced mustache doing things a little bit, like, yes, there's a lineup, but there's also like two babies, you know what I mean? You got a leaky dick at this point anyway. If it leaked a couple extra drops, would it kill anyone? I mean, but again, I don't know who's in the right. I just wanted to be like, let's all cool it. Let's not get into violence in front of the children. And again, the entire place celebrated in unison. Confetti went off. I got the key to the city shortly after. I like the key. I don't know what the key to the city is, but I've heard of it. Is it one key all cities, or just like your city one key? You know what I mean? If you could, I'm just saying. And would it be like, if I had access to the key to the city, could I get into the bank, the vault where they keep the monies? Can I get access to buildings that I normally wouldn't get access to, like buildings that are occupied by the city electrical company? That's like an old building, let's say. It says do not enter, danger zone, signs of lightning bolts on the door, electrical facility of sorts. It's an old building. I like to get inside and be like, is it really electrical, or is it Okay, it's electric. It's an electrical building. They do electricity in there, whatever. The point is, fam, that there was no key of the city, and I'm not like asking for it. Well, like, if I got it, I'm not gonna complain. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching these videos, I'd like to congratulate you, congratulate yourselves, because sometimes I'll be watching a video or whatever, and then they'll be like, you know what, if you watch this video, we'll go ahead and like, you can sign up to this program and get a piece of land, let's say, in Scotland. Get a foot of land in Scotland. We'll plant a tree for you, and you can't really. You could be, and it's cool, But I'm like, what can I do for my fellow family members, fellow syndicate members, fellow gang members? I'm like, you know what? From watching these videos, congratulate yourselves, because now you are part owner of a opium farm in Afghanistan. You're welcome. I know. A lot of options on the table, but I'm like, some things have been done, other things not so much. Just through sheer viewership, I will put your name on a list that'll make sure that you get some land in Afghanistan, and we'll grow opium together, baby. You and I are now in the opium heroin business. Could I have gotten everybody something else, like iPads? Flip phones? Yes. Could I have planted trees? Of course. Could I have chopped a few trees? Yes. But I said, let's get into the opium business together. And you're like, why Afghanistan? Well, it's like 90% of the world's opium. So I'm like, where am I gonna find? Because I'm like, how do I give back? So just through watching, you are now an opium merchant or an opium farmer. Please bring your own machetes on the field if you, because we got to protect the fields. I think it's machete season. I don't know. Point is, I did it. You're welcome. Now we're moving heavyweight across borders. God, how did we get in here? It happens. It happens quicker than you think. And now we're all in it together. And I'm holding you accountable out there. So you're welcome. And I give back. That's how I give back. And also, in addition to that, not just the free opium merchant, not just the free entrance to the opium merchant biz, I also went out and put you on a list if you're watching these videos. Should we get the green light that the extraterrestrials have indeed landed, and we need a first batch of people to be initiated, greeted, and also, like, if we need to have interspecies, intergalactic sex, you got first dibs on that alien vag, son. You're welcome. Ladies, there's also something out there for you. I'm sure you want that, like the alien peen. You got it. As long as you watch these videos and talk about it, your name will also go on a list of the first people who will be having the privilege of bumping uglies with the other species. So you're on the, because that's what it is. Once they come out, there's gonna be like, oh man, scarcity mentality. I want to mate with an alien, and everybody's like, oh no, give me that alien peen, give me that alien badge. You'll be on the list. And again, so that's what I do for the viewers, and that's how I give back. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and we are just rocking and rolling, baby. We are rocking and rolling. There's so many exciting things going on in and around the world. A little bit of politics just for funsies, just so we know where we're at in terms of like life, where we are right now. I did read briefly that Russia planted or is planning on planting nuclear bases or nuclear weapons in the bases of the nuclear bases in Belarus, which is, I guess, short for beautiful Russian. Belarus. Bella, I believe, is beautiful. Rus or Rus, short for Ruski, Russian, Belarus, beautiful Russian. I think that's what it means. I'm not quite sure. It could be completely something else. It'd be misleading to go with Belarus as your name and not be beautiful Russians. But anyway, point is, people are moving, shaking and baking. There's that's going on. I don't know if it's like, oh man, coming in from the top. And then simultaneously, we're like in the middle of like a proxy war with like, we just like took out a couple of Iranians or Iranian stuff in Syria. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's like things are weird, and at the same rate, China was coming in and trying to talk with Iran and Saudi Arabia to get them to come to some sort of a peace agreement. And they got together, the officials, Chinese, Iranian, Arab officials got together, and just like classic statesmen and women from other countries, they got together and they got naked, officially, allegedly. They got naked. They noticed, Iranian fella, hairy. Arab fella, hairy. My Chinese fella, not so much. In order to bring peace together, the Iranian and the Arab fella shaved all their body hair, and they evenly distributed the body hair amongst now the three individuals, and they now had adequate amount of body hair distributed amongst them. How are the peace talks going? That's as far as I've got. You know what I mean? It's a lot of peace talk and a lot of passing around the old falamchama. Little bit of this, little bit of that. So things are happening, man. Things are happening simultaneously all around the world. I hope that we can all, do whatever it takes to fucking work together beautifully. So things are, moving and shaking, baby. Shaking and moving and moving and shaking. But that's what we're doing. Yeah, because I would think if you're getting together as officials, I would be like, if somebody has surplus hair and somebody doesn't have any hair on their body, I would be like, first item of, let's divide because I think, two hairy fellas, one not so hairy fella, if you were to like shave them all down and then distribute the hair evenly, then that would be a fine step towards overall working together. I don't even know, dude. I'm just saying, it's like a lot of, it's weird stuff, fam. It's weird. It's what it is. Just want to bring us in that's just where we are right now, is what I'm feeling. I've also been enjoying watching Night Agent, I believe is the name of the series on Netflix, because I like watching movies, I like watching series, I like watching comedy, horror, adventure, mystery, detective shit, spy thriller shit, and this was like a secret agent show of sorts, and I like secret agent shows of stuff of sorts of and it just got me to like, here's the thing, man. If I don't know if I were a secret agent, like Secret Service agent, let's say, like I'm in the Secret Service, right? I'm supposed to protect the president or like the vice president or whatever, like whatever secret agents in the Secret Service do. When it comes down, like the daily activity is like, obviously I don't know anything about it, but I'm assuming it comes with its own stresses, but the regular stresses. But like, what about the time where it's actually like kicking in, coming to gear? That's a lot of like high stakes, adrenaline pumping. Like it's exciting, it's action, it's thrilling. But at the same rate, like if you're like, because you know how like sometimes people in movies that are, I guess, depicting real life scenarios that we don't get access to, and thank God, but there is a scenario in someone's life who's a Secret Service agent and they got to protect someone, right? And at one point, let's say you're like in a shootout area and you break away from your partner or partners, plural, and then there's some bad guys. There's you guys and there's some bad guys. Once you split up and you're like, we got to split up, I think I'd be good at like the daily, like whatever, like if we're having like coffee or if we're like chit chatting, going over the schedule, like I'll be good at all that. So, but like there's that point where it's like on the field action where you're like, okay, we're gonna have to break up. Not break up. We're gonna have to split up. We can break up if you like. We can break up if this relationship is not working for you. I need to know so we can move forward and get some closure, man. But the point is, once you split up, there's that, like, because now you got to go out on the hunt, and other fellas on your team are also on the hunt, and then there's bad guys reverse hunting. How do you know to be so in control of your gut so that when you do see let's say you run into a teammate once again and you're like, oh, I think I knee-jerk reaction or like just a jerk reaction, you know what I mean? Just like, I think I'd pop him in the shoulder accidentally. Right there. Right there. Oop. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'd be that guy. I think that'd be my thing. You're like, if it's your thing, why would they keep you on the Secret Service agent program? Because I bring value to the table. Sure, I might shoot you in the arm every once in a while or graze your earlobe. They call me the grazer because, you know what I mean? I'm just out there fucking, but yeah, because like, how do you know? How do you, man, there's so much like, oh, like, you know, hiding behind a little shipping container and then waiting to pop out, or maybe somebody's waiting behind the shipping container waiting to pop out in front of you, and then if it's, how do you know the next person that pops out isn't going to be your partner or a baddie? And I think I'd shoot instantly right in the shoulder. Anybody I see, I'm going to shoot in the shoulder. I'm not going to take it to, like, how fast does it register in your mind? Like, you see once you see somebody approaching, jumping from behind a shipping container with a gat, all you see is gat, baby. And if, like, you know what I'm talking about, like, it's adrenaline pumping, blood rushing from your penis to your brain, from your brain to your penis. You're getting erect, you're aroused, you're stimulated in all the wrong and right places. All that, it's action time. I'm not in charge of your body and how you react, fam. You might be bonered up in that situation. I might be bonered up right now. Fuck, I'm hard. And then get excited, but oh my god, I'm so sorry. And you just, oh, what'd you do that for? I'm just bleeding now. But anywhere really, like limbs, I would just, like, you know, torso, not, I'd say, but that's the, I'd be really good at just like working the arms and the legs, just shoot you in the kneecap, because like I don't want to do harm until I'm 100% sure that is like a baddie. But that's what it is, man. I think, you know, as a Secret Service agent, I would bring a lot to the table with the, yeah, there will be several members that'll get grazed, because but that's all I do. They call me the grazer, baby. That's what I does. Take out fellow kneecaps and shoulder blades. Just, oh, right there. Oh man. But you get sick leave, so you're welcome. But that's basically free money. If anything, you should be wanting all of this on the team. We're on the same team. And sometimes, yeah, my aim's fine. It's like, how do you decide, like, in an instant, how do you decide who's a good guy or a bad guy? That's what I'm saying. You're like, oh, training. What about the real shit, fam? You can train all you want to train, baby. I shoot you all the time. But I'm just saying, man, things are happening. It's exciting. But yeah, fucking, oh, right there in the shoulder. I'm sorry. Better safe than sorry, though. You know what I'm saying? So I should say I'm safe. When I graze you, I should say I'm safe. I shouldn't apologize. It's not. I shouldn't apologize. I'm safe. I'm safe. Oh, I'm not sorry. Because if I were sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm not taking it back, dude. I grazed you, and that'll be a mark which you'll be able to show to your family members down the line and be like, man, it's me and my buds on the team, on the Secret Service squad. This guy, the grazer, grazed me, and then you'd lift up your shirt and there was like 10 bullet marks just from me, just accident. Yeah, 10 times. Yeah, it happens more than once. We go out on a lot of missions. What do you expect? The grazer to only hit the target once? You kidding me? Fucking grazing shoulder blades right there, baby. Take off an earlobe. But boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, things are happening. It's wild times. I saw two videos of people jumping off. One was a fella jumping off a rooftop. I believe it was in Italy. I forget whether it was Venice or Rome. A beautiful fella from the third story building of a building in Rome or Venice, dove into a canal. That's one video that I recently watched. The mayor of the city said that he wish he had the power or the ability to award this man and his buddy who filmed it the stupid certificate or certificate for stupidity. And there was that one video that I watched And then there was also another video that I believe was a man on the 31st floor of a building in New York. The FBI was like hunting him down or something, and he happened to like get up top, popped open a window, and he was just like dangling midair. And they brought up a inflatable air cushion or an airbag. You know, one of those like giant yellow airbags that they fill up with air in case somebody wants to jump from the top of the building or whatever. Let's just go back. Let's rewind for a second. The fella in Rome, my Italian beautiful fella from the diving video into the canal, was it reckless? Yes. He belly flopped. Was it caught on camera? Yes. Here's where I'm just like objectively, and I completely get it. As a mayor, you'd be like, yes, that's reckless. That's el stupido. That's, I think, Spanish, but like also, I think stupido internationally is comprehensible. So, that being said, do you guys and gals out there think that it was irresponsible to go on the 3rd floor of a building and belly flop into a canal? Now here's the thing, fam. I get it. There's like, and I'm not condoning anything, but at the same time, I'm not saying it's, I don't know where I stand on this one. I honestly don't know, because here's the thing. If you see somebody diving off a 3rd floor of a building into a canal, if it's shot quote unquote profession, let's say your favorite movie star or stars are diving off of rooftops into canals, belly first. Your favorite stars are diving asshole first into a canal. Your favorite movie stars are diving nip first into a canal. Your favorite movie stars are diving vag first into a canal. Your favorite movie stars are diving peen first into a canal, shot professionally with professional cameramen and women and all the safety equipment and gears and the walkie-talkies and a dispatch and a emergency crew and a tray for all the team members to maybe come grab a little snack off a little tray that was left. Maybe they got trays. That's what I hear. People have trays and on sets and shit, and you'll find a donut or a few slices of, oh, what is that? Bologna, what, salami, pepperoni, all the goods, a little grape. Let me feed you a little grape. It's being so if it's going down. If you see that video captured professionally, you see it in a movie, you're like, yes, that's my favorite star. Prolapsing mid-air, hitting the water, no splash. Prolapsed anus hits the water, no splash. Everybody's happy, everybody's giving out awards. That's the most beautiful splash. I've never seen a more beautiful prolapsed anus in slow-mo with all the HDs. My goodness, what are we doing? Taking it up to another level here with cinematography and the angles and the... So that gets rewards. A fella, I'm not, again, condoning anything. I'm not supporting anything. I'm just like, again, I don't know where I stand on this. A fella was... I'm not saying go out there and be Mr. and Mrs. Daredevil. I'm not saying go out there and not be Mr. and Mrs. Daredevil, because sure, could a lot of things have gone wrong? Could he have landed and, I don't know, maybe the canal was running low on water that day? How the fuck do you know? You know what I mean? What do you know about canals, fam? Because if there's a professional team right here, we fucking get to know the canal. We spend time in the canal. We inquire about the canal's family. Maybe ask around the neighborhood, how do you feel about the canal, just to get a little bit of reassurance. You just go in there, I'm gonna climb on the 3rd floor, Mikey, hold this camera phone real quick. Oh, belly flop, right? And it works out just fine, but what if you split open? But that's the thing, but that's the thing. I think as adults, as full grown, fully developed, challenged adults, all of us have the right to do. Yeah, I don't know where I stand on. I really don't know where I stand on, and that's my thing. Because again, if it was professional, it'll be like, that's Johnny Smokes doing, backflips with a prolapsed anus in the water with a stunt double. So 2 prolapsed anuses in and out. You know what I mean? first you'll have to shoot Johnny Smokes with a prolapsed anus doing a fake little dive. Then you got to get the stunt double with the real prolapsed anus and the real dive. It's hard to find stuntmen and women with prolapsed anuses these days. But how do you guys feel about it? So there's that situation right there in Italy taking place. But then there's also the event in, now this one's completely different, 31st floor, being chased by what I recall right now at the moment was the FBI's, so FBI is behind you, they're chasing you, you whatevs, it's going down, son, it's going down. You thought you can run from the law? You thought you can run from, things happen, the sun is about to set, mister. You're up on the 31st floor. Now they bring here's my issue with the whole thing. That's one thing that I don't, you know what I mean? Like, but if it's like gonna be, I think the inflatable airbag is a little bit too convenient. I have for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, people have been climbing trees and buildings, wanting to jump, faking wanting to jump for all different reasons and whatnot. For thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, humanity has been equipped with inflatable airbags to break the fall. Thus bringing us to this wonderful moment. We're about to change the game, ladies and gentlemen. Are you tired of seeing inflatable airbags in the crime scene? Or, it might be a crime scene, we don't know what's going down, but tired of that, like, same old, same old? Here's the thing that'll change the game, that'll deter more people from going up into buildings and pretending to want to jump or really wanting to jump or whatever the fuck. So here's what I have to propose. Shark Tank, you'll be the first who has first dibs. Also Dragon's Breath, whoever wants to get involved, or any other silent partner who's willing to get involved. I have projects on me mind and I'd like to share it with you. Forget about this old, what is this, 1923 inflatable airbag to catch, boring, lame, pool of jizz, super jizz with AIDS. You bring a pool filled with super AIDS jizz, right? Just like, it's this is the idea right here. We're patenting it right here, right now. Because airbag, everybody knows how this story ends, baby. Unless you're terrible at like aiming, and it's a big airbag, you're gonna be fine. It's just like fun. So all this ruckus that you caused, and you get to at the end of the day have fun and just be like, oh, look at me on an airbag, lame. No. We build these giant pools ready to be activated upon a snap of a finger. Oh, we got a 31 on 32 on a 33 or whatever when like that's classic copper talk, right? We got a 54 on a 33. I don't even know if that's a thing, but it sounds right in my heart. So we got a 53 on 53rd and 2 and second and first. That's how New York cops, I imagine, would talk, because I think the streets are numbers, some of them at least. Oh, I'm on 55th and 2nd. What? Just say a name of the street. 7th and 17, and I'm on 16 and a half and 4. I think. I may be completely wrong, but that's what it is, man. We bring in pools with super 8 infused jizz. Now you gotta ask yourself, fam, do you want to be the fella who dove headfirst into super 8's jizzed pool and have to just climb out and claw your way out of a fucking jizz fest? Not just regular jizz either. The best super 8's jizz. All your orifices, baby. And you're gonna be like, oh, just take a shower. Do you know how hard that's gonna be to get out of your ear, man? Do you know how hard it is to get super 8's jizz out of your ear? Good luck. Good luck. That's one idea. And I didn't just come in here with just one idea. No, sir. That's one idea right there. Next idea. Trampolines surrounded with fire pits. Trampolines and fire pits instead of the balloon or the jizz idea. I think that's my numero uno, man. Like, if we're gonna like back something up, I think it's a jizz pool. But if that one doesn't completely whet your appetite, I'd like to introduce the trampolines with the fire pits so that the fella jumps and there's fire pits going, just sparks of fire burning his asshole, and he's now stuck on a trampoline going up and down, getting burnt for however long we like him to burn, baby. Let's get him fucking boiled and fucking golden. Let's get that golden skin on this rotisserie person that decided to make a afternoon out of a day. This man, somebody's really going with the jackhammer in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear or not, but like selfish. Trying to do a professional podcast and they just I gotta like but thank you also for doing hard fucking work that is needed to be done by men. Or maybe it's a lady. That sounds like a fellow's jackhammer, dude. If I know the sound of a jackhammer. God, that's so like right now, dude. Like I'm in the, you know what I'm saying? So trampolines with fire pits, dude. Lastly, came in with 3 of these bad boys. A pool filled with alligators from Florida. Solved the Florida alligator problem. And also a great deterrence. Yo, clear out the street, bring out the pool with alligators, and these bad boys are just like, hungry too. Fucking borderline anorexic alligators. Okay, I'm so hungry. Snap, snap. Right there. So this fella's now gonna be like, oh man, I'm gonna fall into this giant pool. I'm gonna be totally okay. Maybe a little bit of burn marks on my skin because of the velocity I picked up on the way down, but still, these alligators gonna break my bones, man. So that's another deterrent. So I'm just like, fucking like, you know what I mean? Because I gotta, man, this fucking, I want to go pop a bear right now. This noise outside is making me hungry. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I think the best idea was the first idea, the super AIDS infused jizz in a pool. Just a fucking giant pool of jizz. And the shame it'll bring on your family. Or maybe you're like, I don't care about that, man, but still, it'll take you a good day to clean up the sun. Think about that. While we're on the topic of jizz, bukkakis, ladies and gentlemen, bukkakis first introduced to the world through a Japanese adult film director. I can't remember his name. I want to say Matsumoto. I'm remembering it incorrectly. It doesn't matter. 95 is when when the world got introduced to the notion of bukkakis. And what a bukkake is not what you think it is. It's what it is. It wasn't always what you thought it was. It wasn't always what you thought it was. It was the term bukkake in Japanese means kind of like a splash. And it used to be. It's also associated prior to what we now know it for. It's, you know, adult industry, adult films, bukkake, you know what it is. But before in Japan, we used to say, like, collectively, us together as a species in Japan, not me, like when I say we, like we collectively in Japan used to say, oh, that soup is bukkake. It's a term that they use for cold soup or a splash within soup. It means splash. It means splash, and it has something to do with soups as well, which gets lost in translation. Fast forward to 95 though, and our beautiful film director introduces the concept of bukkakes to the world, which is something that I thought about. I'm like, man, I want to know more. I want to know more. And I did a little bit of digging, and it brought me to the realization that bukkakes were in fact a practice that was both celebratory and also used as a form of punishment. In Japan and in other parts of the world, I believe some parts of the Middle East, they used to, in the 19th century apparently, as a way to honor the bride in some places, is what I read, which makes it fact. Which makes it fact. If I read it, it's fact. Or something. When a beautiful man and woman decided to get married, at the end of the celebration, or I don't even actually know, at one portion of the celebration of the wedding night, all the men who were invited to the wedding would get up and jizz on the bride as a sign of, I guess, gratitude for getting invited, and as also a form of appreciation, and also like a good luck thing. So that was done in some parts of Japan and in some parts of the Middle East apparently. So it was, and I'm just trying to like wrap that mind around that thought, because like, how do you guys and gals feel about that? Do you know anyone personally that was gifted a old school bukkake as a wedding gift? If you yourself or a loved one has experienced that, please leave a comment. If it's caught on camera, also share with us, please. If you'd like to have a sit down, I'm also interested. Man, like, because that's like something your grandma or your great grandma might have experienced. They're just like, this is what it is, baby. Getting married tonight, and you know what it is, man. At the end of the night, cousin, grandpa, your dad, your brother, friends, they will all gather and just fucking right there. May you have good luck for the rest of your married life. And you're like, oh man, thank you. You know, it's. But we do things all around the world, man. That's one thing. So I heard that's some that was done in parts of Japan and in parts of the Middle East. And it's got something to do with, there's a little bit of, I guess, a correlation also to do with throwing of the rice. I think it kind of coincides with the same gesture. It's more symbolic. I much rather have rice thrown at me than jizz. I guess it's the same notion of like, maybe it has something to do with like, oh, this is me hoping fertility and fruits and, you know, fucking a life of bounty for you and your lovely bride, and that's so you jizzed on a fella's bride. I think at one point they're like, you know what, this is just getting a little bit too messy. People are getting sick. We are not having as many return guests. So I think at one point they're like, let's just go with rice. So men would shove rice one by one in their urethra, getting ready for the bridal shower, which was completely something else back then. And yeah, that's what it is, man. So you get married and then you start fucking ejacking rice on people because regular sperm was unsanitary or whatever. And that's the thing. I think that would be, that's a good thing if it did happen. I'm glad that it doesn't anymore. Maybe it still does, but it just so happens that if you were to make love with your wife on that evening, which I would assume in most cases, although yes, the wedding could be fucking tedious and exhausting. You might be so pooped, you're like, fuck it, let's not make love. But a wedding without loving on the evening of the loveliest evening of nights in your life, you should make love. But I'm just saying, if you're covered in jizz and you make love, how do you even know it's your baby, dude? Sure, you might be inside her, but like at the same rate with all that jizz all over, like you never know. It might be like you might end up with your uncle's jizz in your wife's vag. Because I'm just saying, I'm if it happened, I'm happy that it did. At the time, it was probably a thing. If it's still happening, if you're still celebrating that away, please write to us. DM me on Instagram. Reach out and touch me, but don't touch me. But that's the positive. The negative aspect of it was also practiced as a form of punishment. So if you were caught cheating, this was unfortunately done to the ladies, is what I heard. If you were doing adultery, if you were being an adult, and you went around and you cheated, that's what they did apparently. Your husband would take you out in the village, and all the men would jizz on you. And that was also, I don't know if it went down, but I read it, and that is all that he would take you and you'd pass by the local village and everybody would jizz on you, and then he would at the end jizz on you. And again, parts of the Middle East, and I also heard Japan as well. I don't know. Maybe other parts of the world have practiced this too. Definitely glad that one doesn't take place. No one should be getting jizzed on involuntarily. And it's wild shit, dude. It is wild shit. Like, but that's like, I just don't understand the psychology behind it. Like, because if you're like, as a dude, if you were upset that your wife cheated, like, why would you want more jizz for her? What if she's into it, first of all? Second of all, that's like, you're already, it's embarrassing, it's humiliating on so many different, and it's like heartbreaking, it's whatever, it is all that stuff. But now you're like going out there and like you're first of all like you're letting everybody know, you're in the entire neighborhood and the entire village knows, and now you're getting them involved in your personal life to the extent where they have to take a break from whatever they're doing and come and jizz on your wife or your partner, which is wild. Like that went down, and some like a few hundred years ago, people would be like, it's midday, we're just roasting a pig in the middle of the village, and then you see somebody walking in, just guys, drop the roasting of the pig, we gotta jizz on Sally, and everybody's like, why? And you cheated, and everybody's like, oh man, I just somebody else cheated, and I got you gotta give me some time. And you're like, I don't have time right now, man. I'm so mad. I just need you to concentrate and jizz on my wife. Which is wild. Because like again, it's embarrassing, the whole thing. You're like heartbroken, embarrassed, so many different emotions and thoughts going. But then you go and it hurts you at the end of the day so much. Like yes, it does definitely hurt the lady as well. But like that is some. We did weird shit, man. Imagine being so mad to the point where like I'm gonna like try to humiliate you, but also humiliate myself along the, because like you're weird, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is Monday. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you with all my heart. I hope we've managed to cover some ground today. We are rocking and rolling. It is Monday once again. I hope you guys and gals out there have a wonderful start to your week. Where can you find these videos? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, dropped on Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on YouTube for the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to fiscally give us a bump. And we'll be back here again on Wednesday, baby. Love you all. Have a great start to your week, and I'll see you all very soon. Peace out.